Good afternoon, my friends. Happy Saturday. Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my beautiful rideshare revolutionaries. Y'all know who the fuck it is, right? Do I really have to go into detail? So, in my group chat today, one of the drivers said he got a negative review on his account, and he got an email from Uber, and then he said that he knew what he had an inkling it was a pool passenger that did this. So he went into his history and he went to the one pool ride, and he saw that the fare was completely taken away, which let him know that obviously some cheap ass passenger took a pool and decided they didn't want to pay for this ride, complained to Uber, and then got the ride for free, right? And while luckily this guy's been driving for a while, so he knew the deal. He knew what to look for that kind of review. And I just think this has been going on for such a long time. This is not the first video I've made about this, but we're gonna check out what happened right now. So he showed us this screenshot first. We recently received, and this was at, well, it's not gonna show up. We recently received some rider feedback indicating that it appeared as though another person was driving on your Uber partner account. As outlined in Uber's community guidelines, you're the only person who can accept trip requests on your partner account. No duh. Please note that further feedback of this nature can result in permanent deactivation of your partner account. We recommend reviewing your profile photo and retaking it if the photo is blurry, unclear, or in bad lighting. For details on how to update your profile photo, please click here, right? We all know that's a bunch of fucking hot garbage. And he showed us right here. He said that was one pool ride, $11.70 for a 21 minute ride, 12 miles last night. And he went to fare details and he got paid $11.70 and the rider paid $0. So Uber took the hit on that one. So what has happened here, obviously, like I mentioned before, is the passenger obviously knows the game. They know that if they file enough of a complaint that they ride for free. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of passengers around the country that are aware of the fact that if you complain, you can ride for free. And they do not care about how this affects the person driving. If it was just like whatever, if those complaints were thrown out by Uber, I could complain all day. I don't give a fuck, right? I still make my money. But the fact that if some other cheap ass pool passenger pulls the same shit, he's gonna get deactivated. It's not his fault. He's doing nothing wrong. He could be a 4.99 driver on Uber. He could be the best. He could be one of the best drivers on the platform. But you get enough of these complaints, you get deactivated. I know they say permanently. I mean, odds are they'll look over the account and all that stuff. But you shouldn't even have your account in any kind of. Your account shouldn't be at risk because some dickhead, cheap ass, piece of shit passenger doesn't like what they got charged. That's the point. And the problem here, and this, while I know why Uber and Lyft do this, they've taken zero steps to correct this kind of behavior. Because I understand from a legality basis, you have to take every single complaint seriously. If a passenger says, I think my driver was drunk, I think my driver was high, I think my driver was not the driver listed, you have to take those complaints seriously. You do. You absolutely do. Because there are some times when that shit happens. But when you have passengers like this one, they're probably making this complaint every single time they take a ride, then Uber and Lyft are pretty much conditioning these passengers to shit all over the drivers because they know they're going to ride for free. They've created this culture of yeah, just complain, and the complaints are only going to get worse. It could have started with 1-star driver, 1-star ride, the car wasn't clean. and then they didn't get the fare reduction, so they're like, oh, well, actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, the driver was a completely different person. Oh, now that I'm thinking about it, the driver was drunk. Now that I'm thinking about it, the driver was high. Oh, the driver was racist. The driver was a sexist. The driver tried to touch me. The driver tried to follow me into my house. They'll say anything to get a free ride. And Uber and Lyft allow it to happen. There is no, like, this could be fixed easily. This could be an email from Uber and Lyft saying, attention passengers, if you continue to make false allegations against drivers, you will be removed. You will not be allowed to take rides. If this is happening, these kinds of passengers, we all know they exist. They're complaining about every single time they take a ride. If the service is that poor, if Uber and Lyft cannot meet your strict requirements for a good ride, why do you continue to use the service? Right? But since Uber and Lyft have done nothing to correct this kind of behavior, since the apps just let them get away with it, it's going to continue to happen. And it's good drivers that are going to see their accounts, in limbo because of it. So, obviously, this driver knew what to do when he saw that complaint. He went directly to the pools. And I'm not saying every pool passenger, it's more than likely it's going to be a pool passenger. I'm just saying right now. But if this does happen, I maybe get out in front of it, contact Uber and be like, look, this absolutely did not happen. That was why, if I was operating under a different account, why would I if I did 13 rides last night, how can only one person report this? So whatever happens, the best course of action is to if you get one of these kinds of complaints, one of these reviews on your account, is to get out in front of it, contact Uber and Lyft immediately, give them your side of the story, and I think honestly what Uber, and this is something I agreed with the Chicago rideshare advocates, was we should be allowed to sue these passengers if they do these kinds of things. But since we're not allowed to kind of like, there's no enforcement, it's their word against ours, and Uber and Lyft will take the word of the passengers over ours every single time. So until they're held liable for making fraudulent claims, it's going to continue to happen. If I got deactivated, it's because someone said I was drunk or high when I clearly wasn't, then that person should be held responsible for the money I'm not making. That person should be held liable for all the money I lost. I mean, they probably don't have money if they so desperately needed that $12.40. But if that's the case, get your fucking lazy, stupid ass back on the bus, because you are not good enough for our service. You are a piece of shit passenger, and you're riding for free. And Uber and Lyft allow this kind of behavior, and that's the fucked up part. So yeah, guys, that's all I got for this one. Make sure you check if you see any kind of these reviews, check your fares. Look for the ones where the rider paid $0 on a ride, and that's how you know that's the one that reported you. It's unfortunate, but that's part of. It's seemingly unavoidable in this game. You're gonna run into these passengers that want to ride for free, and they realize they can ride for free by making false allegations, false complaints. So it sucks. But you gotta I don't know, we gotta figure, Uber and Lyft gotta do something, because this is ridiculous. And that's all I got for this one, guys. Everyone, please stay safe, stay driven, stay classy. If you're celebrating 420, then I don't know, stay lit, I guess. And that's all I got for this one, guys. Everyone, take care out there. Bye-bye.